MedBix Webcast is a new kind of healthcare media channel to break the silo mentality and foster interdisciplinary thinking. Our mission is to fill that gap and to create a curiosity through different lenses, tapping the passion that guided the historical figures in medicine and bringing present-day groundbreaking research to the front lines. We interview physicians and leaders in the industry about present-day healthcare challenges on our live programming.
Welcome to the MedBix Webcast. This is Ramana Annamraju. I'm the host. So I have the excellent program. And today I'm going to talk with a entrepreneur mom, and she's a new app starter, Ellen Murphy. I'm going to talk with her about the ultrasound and then ultrasound network. How to distribute the baby images on the ultrasound images around the network. So after that, I'm going to present a topic on death of a spy, and then extraordinary woman in science, a connection between the death of a KGB spy and then extraordinary woman in science. I'm going to present a topic on that. After that, actually, before that, all of this, I have a housekeeping. I have my good friend Roger Royce is a Silicon Valley veteran attorney. Everybody knows him. If you are from Silicon Valley, everybody knows Roger Royce. Roger Royce is a very veteran attorney. He did a lot of my programs. He was a moderator for a lot of my programs. So he's doing a cancer startup. Let me bring him on the way, and he can explain to you a little bit better. Roger, can you come on Roger, welcome to the MedBix Webcast.
Okay, well, thanks very much. Thanks for having me. I'm Roger Royce. I'm a partner with Haynes Boone. I'm a lawyer. I do startups, emerging growth, and venture capital in Palo Alto. And what I'd like to tell you about is we have a practice area around cancer therapy startups and technology aimed at the diagnosis and treatment of cancer. And it is a really exciting area. Things are moving really quickly in the space. There's so many new things coming up that it's just it is very much startup land, because it's high risk but immeasurable return. And you'd be surprised to see all the things that are out there. So we're about to do our third event around this particular space, and our third and fourth actually. And our third one is an online event through Zoom. It's a pitch event. So we've got several cancer therapy startups that are going to be pitching to investors. It's actually a demo day. Let's not call it a pitch, but it's a demo day. And they're going to be demoing their products. We got 6 companies over 1 hour, 10 minutes each. And I'd like to invite you all to attend. Ramana, I can give you the link here if you'd like.
How long each one has how much time each one has?
10 minutes each, and we have 6 companies from 11 to 12 on March 27. So that's next week. I think, and this will be the third one we've done. There are a lot of companies out there. They all have a little bit different. And again, it's around diagnosis, one around prevention, around treatment. We even have one company coming up that's going to be around mental health aspects around this sort of diagnosis. So I put, Ramana, I've given you the link to the Eventbrite.
Yeah.
So,
I see it. I'm going to post it. I can post it I will post it at the end. I'm going to get but everybody knows Roger Royce anyway. If you put his name there, Roger Royce name, he will show up. His email, Roger. Well, your email is Roger Royce at Jensen Booth, right? It has
you just Google my name. I'm not hiding it, but it's Roger Royce.
Google your name, your email shows up anyway. Yeah. So that's good. So everybody is going to come and pitch. Is it the mental health, and then anybody in the genetic side, or anything, a new immunotherapy?
We got
all those things.
All of those things. We've got a diagnostic. We've got treatment companies. Really interesting stuff going on, and new treatments. And then one talking about mental health. And that's a big part of this. It's a very big part of cancer therapy. We've heard a lot lately about how trauma is related to cancer. So obviously we want to get at the cause of the disease, and this is one way of doing it. The second event I want to mention quickly is we're going to be down in San Diego on April 7th for the AACR, that's the American Association for Cancer Research Convention. It is a huge convention every year, and that's where the latest, greatest, most groundbreaking technology finally sees public stage. And we're going to be down there doing an event called The Latest in Cancer Therapy Technology. It's a panel, not a pitch event. This is a panel. So if you happen to be in San Diego for AACR, I hope you'll come by and visit our event. And again, if you want to email me, I'll send you the link. Or I'll tell you what, Ramana, I'm going to give you that link as well.
Okay.
Uh,
So, Roger, it's going to be all the cancers. We really need that. A lot of this, the aging population now is cancer is a bigger challenges going on, and I think we need a lot as much help as possible from the world. Now, the cancer startup people from India, from others, Russia, they can all present the topics now, right? It's not limited to the United States only, U.S. only. Anybody in the world can present the topic, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a global crisis. It really is a pandemic. The cancer, it seems to be on the increase, and we need to have the therapies and the technologies catch up with it. And what you said about around the world, that's not happening only in the United States. We've got companies from India doing some really amazing diagnostic things. There are companies in Asia that have treatments that you'd be surprised just how advanced some of the treatments are in other countries. And really, through these sorts of events, we're hoping we can democratize this process, because it really doesn't make sense that there could be a cure if you happen to be standing in the right country, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah, cancer
you,
startups, a lot of the new things are much easier to. First of all, the most important is the prevention and screening. The screening is a lot of them nowadays. We are thinking about. I see companies coming with a strip testing where you just throw it away, just test it and throw it away. That's kind of the future of the testing of the cancer. I hope that we are going to be soon get do all the testing of all these things. And thank you, Roger. You're always a great friend, and you're always a great support of the MedBricks webcast, and is really looking forward to coming on that day. Any help? So actually, you met another lady that was coming, Ellen Murphy. You met her in the Innovator MD conference on that day. We had a picture together. She's going to be my guest now. I'm going to bring her, and then if you want to stay, stick with it, or if you want to
sure.
go, that's fine. Thank you so much. I'm going to announce your program, and I'm keep on announcing it. March 27th at 11 a.m. Right?
That's right.
March 27th, 11 a.m. You need to go and do any cancer startups related to cancer. Please send it to information to Roger Royce directly. Google his name. You will see his name everywhere. Thank
Right.
you so much. Thank you, Roger.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Alan, welcome to the Alan Murphy. Alan, I tell you a little bit, thank you so much for coming in. Alan, tell us a little bit background of yours, that what do you do, what kind of things you do, and what is your
Um, Thank you so much for having me, Ramana. It's so good to see Roger too and hear what he's doing. He's doing amazing things. So I've spent the last 10 years in the ultrasound industry working for an ultrasound provider that provides the staff, so the ultrasound techs, the sonographers, and provides equipment to doctors' offices and hospitals. So I've worked in business development, sales, marketing, working very close with the OBGYNs, the kind of everyone within the healthcare ecosystem, physicians, all ultrasound modalities, and very close with the ultrasound techs as well. So I've spent the last 10 years with the company called Premier Ultrasound Services, and that's kind of where Bellybaloo was born.
So, but tell us about Bellybaloo. How did you? What the company do? Why? How did you end up actually trying to do that? What is the reason you started this app, Bellybaloo?
Sure.
Bellybaloo? What do you say?
Bellybaloo, yes.
Bellybaloo.
So in the last 10 years, I've seen ultrasound imaging advance so much. It's gotten so good that if you are pregnant and you have a baby ultrasound, you can almost see what your baby's going to look like with a good 3D ultrasound. So technology and the imaging has come very far, but when moms go in to get their ultrasound, they're still getting these static printouts their baby, kind of low quality. And it's been like that for over 40 years now. So my parents got those same static printouts when they were pregnant with me. So there's been no technology around the expectant family experience. I just saw a huge opportunity for bringing technology to that and kind of amplifying and making it a much better connected experience during pregnancy. So we were able to run a pretty big beta through the Premier Ultrasound Network, and about 2 years ago, I got pregnant and I experienced our technology firsthand. It was with our prototype app. It wasn't with the app that we have now, but just being able to take home the videos too, seeing the baby kick, the baby's heartbeat, it was such a game changer for me. And it kind of opened my eyes to hope. I really want this, every expectant family to have that same experience and very easily be able to share with friends and family as well.
Ellen, I used to do ultrasound services in Georgia. I used to go there. That's the size of a refrigerator. My ultrasound is. We have a
Yeah.
big van. We have a lift up. We have actually lifting. We have a special lift to the van. You have to lift it up. You need an industrial lift to
Yeah.
put the ultrasound there. And we used to take to rural Georgia. A lot of these times they wanted to print out. They want to show it to their friends and family. The thermal print is just barely visible. Hardly. They were seeing like a bunch of dots and black and white dots. They were used to get excited about that. I was wondering what that excitement is of giving life giving moment, right? That's like a very precious for the parents and their families. And we have a very low quality that we are showing to them. It is very depressing to give it to those kind of things. I said that we need to improve the technology. Then came in a little bit, and then thermal printers. They are also big problematic. They're technically challenging. You need a special piece of special paper. If you run out of it, you can't print it out. It's a kind of a big problem in the whole ultrasound imaging process, for particularly giving it to the patients. So they always, either we used to mail them, or they used to come down and pick it up from our office. This kind of as a man, we don't understand these things really, until I went through myself. Seeing this woman going through the trouble is really amazing. This is one of the things that men should understand. This is a very important problem. People ignore it, but there is a serious problem and serious technical, and then there is a technical challenges there, right? So explain a little bit more about that technical challenge.
Yeah, sure. You're right about the thermal printouts. The paper is very expensive. There's issues. There can be technical issues with the machine. So the printer has to be cleaned out every so often, or there's lines and marks. It's just like a normal printer where it runs out of ink, so the images can be blurry. I've heard when getting feedback from expectant parents and going through the early stages, I interviewed so many parents, and I heard parents try to laminate these pictures so they could save them forever, and they melt. They're just not good quality. So, and thermal paper is actually very expensive too. So, yeah.
So the lamination is a problem. I didn't realize it. If you laminate, it melts, right?
It
Because of
melts
that
and it
thermal.
turns black. So you can't, you lose the image completely, and you never get it back, which is really,
And also, you cannot share with anybody. You have to literally carry them and show them to the people. If they get an image, they cannot mail them. They cannot tell their sisters or brothers and anybody. They cannot show the family. That they have to basically show them on they cannot make a copies, right? It's not easy to make a
right.
copy. So
Yeah,
it's a challenge itself, right?
it is. You can, like, some parents can take like a picture of it with their phone, but there's always a glare. It's just not great quality. There's always images missing too. You get a couple printouts when you go in for your ultrasound. So with Bellybaloo, you're getting more than that. You're getting some videos. You're getting, there's no limit a lot of the physicians encourage just sending the fun images so that measurements are not over scrutinized and they're not getting unnecessary phone calls of patients being concerned or questioning like measurements. But there's a lot of fun pictures that come with a lot of required images that have to be taken medically or clinically. So
So you take the images from directly from the ultrasound, HIPAA compliant, all the privacy, all the regulatory compliance you have directly from ultrasound, not some printout. Is it directly the images is directly imported from the ultrasound itself, right?
Exactly. So we created a HIPAA compliant technology that allows the images to go right from the machine to the patient's phone. So when the sonographer begins the scan, all she has to do is ask the patient for their cell phone number. Of course, if they want Bellybaloo first, but if for their cell phone number, and then they just plug the cell phone number into a designated field on the ultrasound machine, and they can pick and choose which images to send. So it's very, very simple. It's not a lot of extra work for the sonographer other than plugging the cell phone number into the machine.
Ellen, in India and other countries, some countries, this is a global problem. This is a huge problem. It's not simply limited to United States. In India, is a bigger problem because a lot of times the family members get upset because they're expecting a boy and then they got a girl. Some families are very those kind of still exist. This kind of a draconian methods, and they beat up that girl or whatever the situation is. I literally saw in the Georgia, one of our technician got beaten up by the husband's sister because they're expecting a boy and she's getting a girl. It is basically it's the privacy that is such an important thing you can maintain through the privacy without publishing this to everybody around that. It's you can with the cell phone you can send it directly to them. So you maintain that privacy also, right?
Absolutely. So privacy and security is like the utmost importance to us, especially being in the medical field. So we use a third party to ensure our HIPAA compliance, and we are undergoing a SOC Type 2 audit to make sure we're following security best practices. But yeah, when the mom receives her ultrasound images, she can keep them to herself and not share, or she can invite family and friends to the app, whether it be her partner, mom and dad, friends, other family members, or share via social media and any other sharing platform. So my dad has 6 grandchildren on his app, which is pretty cool. So it's kind of you kind of have a platform where you can have multiple pregnancies on it, compare what the baby looks like through the pregnancies, and have access to pregnancies as well, which is awesome.
So have you ever seen a triplets or twins and triplets on your ultrasound images people get?
Yes, not mine personally, but there are plenty of twins on our platform. I'd have to look into triplets, but there's plenty of twins.
Yeah, this is not as trivial as people think. It's a very trivial thing, sharing the ultrasound images, but it's a very challenging logistically that you need to send it to all the friends by mailing them. If you have a thermal one, I'm surprised when you said that. In the 40 years, the technology didn't change. I was shocked because I left the business a long time ago. I did not know that. Still, I thought it's a very way advanced. Still, we are in the same cocoon and that kind of a process we are in. It is a sad state of affairs, in that sense, right?
I know you like this to be the standard, and not the physical printouts being the standard. But it just shows you how far behind it's. There has been such a focus on the imaging portion of it, which is great for clinically, but from the patient experience, it hasn't gotten there yet. And there's a huge opportunity. I think pregnancy is long. It's 9 months. You're sitting around waiting to meet your baby. So if we can make that experience a little bit better, a little more connected, allow parents to bond with their baby a bit better, then we'll be very happy.
Ellen, this is an app. They have to download it, or just you can do on the desktop, or what is the process for this app?
So it's an app download. So what the patient gets when after she gets her ultrasound images, there's typically a hold time set by the office just in case, something comes up with the baby. A lot of our offices set a 1 hour hold time. So an hour after the ultrasound's done, she'll get a text that will say your images are ready. And if she hasn't downloaded her app, she'll have to download and register. And if she has downloaded our app, it's just clicking the link and it brings her right to her ultrasound images and videos.
I tried to put your website. Is it right on the right under your picture? Your video. There is your website is there. Is that right? Did I press?
Exactly. Yeah.
No. Okay,
Yeah.
good. So they can reach that
That's it.
Bellybaloo
Thank you for
website
doing
there. She told me it is a baby talk. That's
that. Yeah.
you know.
Bellybaloo. Yeah.
We all it is a sad. Sometimes I feel sad about that. All the men, we don't pay attention to women's health. Mammograms, we went through the same problem in mammograms because the
Mhm.
reimbursements in the mammograms. What do you think of insurance companies? This is such a precious moment for a woman mother. uh, don't you think the insurance company should reimburse for this kind of services?
Yeah, I don't. I think from a clinical perspective, they might not see the clinical necessity of it, um, but the what we are doing is we are offering our technology to ultrasound providers, so to OBGYNs, to imaging centers, hospitals for free, because our our real mission is to create like a new standard for how patients experience their ultrasound and get their ultrasound images. Um, so we want this as in as many pregnant hands as possible. We want moms to have this opportunity. So we are offering our technology to providers for free, and then we'll monetize through advertisers, market research companies, and then app features.
Ellen, it is not a clinical. I may not agree with you. The clinical necessity. There is a lot of other clinical necessities. They do extend a lot of this narrow kind of workman's compensation. The reimbursements are so high. There really not a much of a clinical benefit to it. It's
Yeah.
actually the insurance companies have the moral and ethical responsibility for the families, and they are the customers. They need to make them happy as a family. That is, I think, I strongly feel that this is one of the things they should reimburse, in my view. That is the one thing that we all need to really raise concerns about. That, right?
Hmm. That would be great.
Yeah.
That would be very nice for us.
Yeah, Alan, you are a very fighter. When you came to, the San Francisco, went through a Founders Institute, you went through a training. Tell us a little bit about that training and how did you end up in San Francisco, and I met you in San Francisco area. Tell us a little bit about what is the journey you went through.
Sure. So Founders Institute is a 4 month startup accelerator for pre-seed companies, and it's a very rigorous program. So it requires between 20 hours and 40 hours of extra additional homework per week to really push the business forward. In addition to that, you have access to over 100 mentors in their network to have one-on-one meetings with. You meet with the entire accelerator once a week, and kind of also with some of the founders every week. So it's a very engaging, very um, beneficial 4 month, intensive 4 month period. And the graduation was in the beginning of January. Out in San Francisco. So the accelerator was virtual, but the graduation was in person, which was great. So that took place in San Francisco, where I met you, and got to meet some of the directors, some of the other founders. So it was good to meet people in person after
We met
seeing their
Roger
faces
also
on the
same place.
computer.
We met Roger in the same place, actually. Roger
Exactly.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you have to have that drive and the dedication. I'm going to talk about a present day topic. A woman in the 1800s, 1900s, sorry, late 1900s. in the beginning of 1900s. A woman had that dedication. She has no resources. She tried everything. I'm going to present a topic. After that, I come back and I will ask you about the funding requirements, what you're trying to do, how you want to raise money, or what is the next steps for you, global way, how do you expand your program into global customers. We'll talk about that when I come back, but I'm going to present a topic on a woman similar to you. She is the in 19 early 1900s. I'm going to do that. Both we are going to watch. You can jump in anytime you want, Alan. Okay?
Thank you.
Just a minute. Let me. That's Alan Murphy from Bellybaloo. He is an entrepreneur, CEO. So that is. I'm going to talk about another topic on the similar. A woman, a feminist, fierce feminist, innovator, prolific fundraiser, and she was a modern. If you can compare, she's like a modern Ellen Murphy. That she is. Let me tell you the story about this death of a spy, death of a KGB spy, Alexander Litvinko. He was invited to a cup of tea into the Millennium Hotel in London. And then he went to see his friends, some so-called friends, and he went to see that immediately in 2006, November 1st, he went to the hotel to have a tea with the friends. After that, he get immediately fell sick. Then immediately he started vomiting, nausea. He was a hair loss immediately within a week. He lost all his hair, and then and then they checked everything. Nothing is wrong with him. That they decided is a radiation poisoning. It just that what they thought about. It is a classic symptoms of radiation poisoning. At the age of 43. See the left side. What do you look like at the within 2-3 weeks? How you look like in the right side at the age of 43? So they suspected, they wanted to check what they before blaming anybody. They want to see. So what they did was they must be they because of his background. He's a KGB spy. He was a former KGB spy. He defected to England, and then they wanted to check is what is going on with him, and then because they thought that because of the circumstances in the tea that he consumed, that after the tea he got sick, so they thought he ingested something radiation poisoning kind of thing ingested. So they dropped a silver plate inside the stomach because the radiation that is not when you ingest it, it usually doesn't go out. It's inside, stays inside, and destroys the cells. So they found out. Then they put a silver plate inside the stomach, and they absorb all the radiation, alpha particles. These are alpha particles. From the then they take it out, and the Geiger counter is a instrument. I'm a nuclear physics background I have. So they do the Geiger counter. You can measure the radiation itself, and they identify the radiation and measure it. So that's they found out is a radiation poisoning. He was poisoned. Is called polonium poisoning. He got then they suspected. Now they publicly came out. The England came out and say Putin was involved because polonium you cannot get in the market. It has to be highly regulated polonium. They went to the hotel. Actually, you can even the whole trace, the subway system, everything you can see that clickings of the Geiger counter. It follows the whole path of the polonium. So they found out, and they said that about the Putin was involved. So I don't want to be fault politician, but that's what they said. So that is on the other side of the world. In the United States, there is a radium girls. There is used to be called. They used to hire a lot of girls in the radium watches. I used to when I was in India. This a clock is very common. Then this clock as a that in the nighttime it glows because it has a radium dial. It's a radium lighten up, so it emits the radiation. So you can see in the nighttime the lights of the radium. Is everybody got these clocks everywhere in the world. What it is, they put the Radium Corporation is called a Radium Corporation. Hired a bunch of girls in West Orange, New Jersey. Is just outskirts of New York City, where right now Alan is. Uh, that outside of New Jersey, the outside of New York City, they hired a bunch of girls. One of the qualifications has to be that they have nice lips. It's one of the strange requirement. So because they can lip and then dip, and that is a tagline for the company. lip dip and paint. So they lip it, then they put the paint on it, on the numbers, and then they glow in the nighttime. But all of them know this is a dangerous. Radium is a radioactive material. So there is another guy. There are crazy people all over the world. Is this guy. Um, his name is, oh, just one second. I'm trying to move. Yeah, yeah, his name is Evan Byers. Is a golf pro, and he wanted to improve his sexual performance. And then somebody suggested him to go to the radium water. So he bought a radium water from from the certified patent. There is a patent on it. The guy must be nuts. You should go to the doctor before you're asking for sexual performance, not to the not to the lawyer patent. He was looking at the patent, and then he consumed that one. So you want to know what happened to him is, uh, unfortunately, I don't know. We don't have a data about his sexual performance, but he is no longer. He died very very tragic death. Very fast. So it was not a good idea. That is almost $200 per bottle they were selling in the public market for this is a radioauthor it's called. So if you see those kind of things, you don't drink it. Because of a patent is there doesn't mean it's safe. But anyway, that is a. So what happened to the girls? The girls is the what happened is it's called necrosis. What happened is this is these girls that they got the jaw, the dead cells, necrosis happened lower and upper jaw bones, particularly lower jaw bones. They got affected. They were eaten away, and they really paid a big price in the cancer through cancer and all those things. So it is a big problem. Necrosis is a huge. They is actually radium girls they call, and radium jaw. And there is a name classification, medical classification, radium jaw. It is called. So upper and lower jaw bones were affected for all these women. They were really horrible situation there. So what they did is then, they went to all these girls who sued the radium corporation. Then they did not. So they got the $10,000, is equivalent to maybe $200,000 at this present stage. They got $100,000, $10,000 each one. That's all they got. And then, but no lawyer. We don't have a Roger Royce at the time. We would have taken the case, but no lawyer wouldn't take their case for a woman. Go against a corporation. They're lying. They know that they're lying. All these guys lying to that is safe. Radium is safe. That's what they're saying. Is all the research is saying is not safe. So what happened was that occupational medicine, eventually they won the lawsuit, and the occupational medicine department started in the field of occupational medicine started. Washoe is started because of that. One of the reasons, Alice Hamilton is one of the doctors that started she's instrumental in starting a Washoe. American Workers Health Safety is a department started. Washoe is started because of that reason. But the woman who discovered these dangerous materials, polonium and radium, one of the dangerous radioactive materials, were discovered by Maria Salomia Skłodowska Curie, known to be Marie Curie. Yes, she is the one discoverer of these two dangerous radioactive materials, polonium and radium. She discovered that. She was born in 1867 in Poland, Warsaw, Poland. She's from Polish. Then what she did was, at the time, the girls, the radium was usually, actually now they use it for the tumors, to suppress the tumors. They can put the radium tablets on the top of it, and they treat the tumors, cancers put through that. Radium actually, is not only it's dangerous, but is used for treating the cancers. But she so so she went to she when she was growing up in Poland, Warsaw, Poland. The woman cannot. Warsaw was under the Russian occupation. They cannot go to women are not allowed to go to school, higher education. So they used to call flying universities. I didn't know this. Underground universities, underground network schools that they teach the women, the girls, teaching education there. It's called Flying University. That's a name for it in the Polish. I don't know how to say that. If, I don't know Alan knows Polish or not, but that is a Polish name. There's a universal, some kind of a Polish name. That is a underground university school system they have, and a lot of good people really teaching that those kind of things up there. Then, so her sister and herself went to those schools, and they learned it. Okay, so then she was, you know, so she went to University of Paris. She got the job in the she was admitted into the University of Paris. Then in the France, she moved to France, and then she is already well known. She's reading a lot of articles about it, and then she was admitted into the University of Paris, and then they gave her a lab. It's a potato shed, basically small outside of the University of Paris is a huge complex, but they gave her outside of the little bit of outskirts of the university campus. They gave her a potato shed to do a research. She's a woman. She cannot be stopped. She's a smart. She's a genius. What she did was, after that, she and her husband, she got married. Her name is Pierre Curie. That's why his last name is Curie. That's a French name. So she got that last name from him. So Marie Curie married, and then she got this pitch blendy. They got the ore from thousands of ore. She wanted to extract the radium actually. So she went to wars and collected lots of this woman is just on a mission. She wants to discover this radioactive material, and then she put in the pitch blend, and then they take the lots of tons of tons. You have to take it and then put in the acid, and then you crystallize it. So she went through a very genuine, very genius process. Actually, at that during this time, is a limited resources are available, but she did that, and she discovered the radium. She extracted the radium through that process and discovery, and then she discovered the radium through a process. While doing that, she went. The World War One started. The World War One. Germany declared a war on France. That is a Germany declared war on France. That is a big problem, and there's a 1.3 French people are dead during the World War One. I didn't know that 1 million people were injured. That was the biggest problem that she did. So she was hiding actually all these materials. She was hiding that because that Germany is going to get a hold of it. So she wants to hide the radium and all those things. So she created she's during the war, she diverted her efforts into different way. So she wanted to save the people, save the soldiers and the bullets and all these injured soldiers, and they want to save. And then she went to, first actually the first X-ray was on the left side is a William Röntgen was discovered. That is a ring of his wife. I'm glad he only still married, so that she's okay. So he got the first picture of William Röntgen discovered the X-rays. Not the Marie Curie did not discover, and then that is the first bullet X-ray. Actually, in the right side you see it. But what Marie Curie did was she designed a Petite Curie, a mobile X-ray unit. I used to do mobile X-rays, and then the Alan is involved in the mobile ultrasounds. So we know this is you need a machine. You need at the time it's a huge process. Building, taking an X-ray in the trailer. So saving lives. So she went to get a funding. She went to get a funding to the French military generals to saving a French man. She's a Polish. She wanted to save the French military soldiers. She went to the military generals. They said that's not a top priority for us, not saving lives. We want to win the war. There's no funding for you. So she never take. Marie Curie never took no for an answer. She is a very prolific. She's a focused and minded. What she did was hell with all of the men, and she went to Parisian woman. She went to all the fashion industry. She went to she became a true feminist. She was a Coco Chanel, was a heiress of the Coco Chanel industry. All the French women, all high socialites gave her all the money she wanted it. She got all the money. See, Ellen? Hey, So she got all the money. Hell with the military generals, they didn't give her any money. She got all the money, and then she built the 20. She built a she built a the Petite Curie, the mobile tailor. She built it. She not only built it, she was driving it. Think about that. She didn't care. She was driving it, and then she took a first picture of that. That is the really picture from that system. Marie Curie took a picture of that bullets in the hand. You see that bullet fragments in the hand. So this is the biggest thing. She is a warrior in that sense. So she was all woman jobs. She hired all women. She took a 20 women. She trained all of them, including her daughter Irene Curie. She hired her, and then she put the 20 operators, X-ray operators. She hired them, and then sent it to the field in the battlefield to save lives in the World War One. Think about this woman in mission. That is never. You don't want to mess with her. She was on a mission. So what did she did was after that she won. Then they declared she won the Nobel Prize twice in the physics for the discovery of the radium and the extraction is the chemistry side of it. They gave her twice. She is the only woman won the Nobel Prize twice in physics and chemistry. Both of them she got the Nobel Prize two times. But when she was receiving a second time, there's a problem because her husband died and she had an affair with the lab assistant there, and all the press were talking bad about her. She should not be allowed to take a Nobel Prize because she had an affair with them. That's what that said. That's what she had an affair. So they were shaming her and the public shaming, and she was under a lot of stress. And then Einstein wrote a letter to her during that. That's a read that letter. It's a brilliant what he advises. If the rabble continues to occupy itself with you, then simply don't read that hogwash, but rather leave it to the reptile reptiles for whom it has been fabricated. Albert Einstein wrote that. It's fabricated for the reptiles. Leave it there. Don't ignore it. Don't pay attention to it. Don't be bothered by them. So he gave a stinging remarks to the press. That's the press. So he was a mentor for her actually. Albert Einstein he's a fan of Marie Curie. He was in New Jersey, Princeton actually. He was in New Jersey at the time. So the teaching doctor, her daughter actually, she is herself is a very good scientist. She won the technetium 99. That is technetium that we use like a contrast agent now. Use it iodine also 131 is a two very popular contrast agents in healthcare for PET CT scan or bone density and all those things. We use that quite a bit actually, stress thallium and all these things. So she created artificial radioactive materials. They're not radioactive before. She bombarded with the radioactive thing and induced the radioactivity. She won the Nobel Prize also for that. Her husband. So she was took her mother's X-rays, mobile X-rays, and traveled across Europe and teaching the doctors how to do X-rays. Think about the dedication means. So she did. So it's a family affair. Nobel Prize is in the Curie family. They won over 5 Nobel Prizes, unprecedented. All the family member. Marie Curie won for physics, for the discovery of the radium, and then her husband Frederick Curie won the same thing for the discovery, and then she won the second Nobel Prize for the chemistry for the extraction of the radium for the chemistry side, and then her daughter for the artificial radioactivity. Daughter Irene Curie won the Nobel Prize for her husband has also won the Nobel Prize. 5 Nobel Prizes in the house. Think about Curie's how many Nobel Prizes in the family. So she came to the United States to raise money for the X-rays and the radium. She came to the United States and then she met the President Harding actually here, and then he announced a big White House dinner for her. Think about that. This woman was working in a potato shed, moved to the White House and having a dinner with the President of the United States. And then she went to Waldorf Astoria, where she went to the Louis Carnegie, right now where she is at, close by, Ellen is at. Waldorf Astoria, that was given a remarkable dinner for her fundraising dinner by Louis Carnegie. They gave a dinner, raised $150,000. She's like $2 million now for that money. She got plenty of money. She raised a prolific fundraiser. She is on a mission. And Marie Curie came to the United States and raised the money, and she got a 1 gram of radium. They gave it to President Harding, gave it to her. 1 gram of radium is donated to her. So, so this is a woman. So the Radium Hospital was started, in the New York City right now. The memorial, the New York, she's the Memorial Sloan Kettering Hospital is the one of the first hospitals used radium. A lot of hospitals actually incorporated radium treatment. So radium, they put the tablet of the radium directly on the tumor and reduce the tumor. They were doing that. In the first cancer center is a Memorial Sloan Kettering from New York, that started it. So she's a mother of nuclear medicine. She did because she was a that's a nuclear reaction. Alpha particles, they're all coming from the nucleus, right? That's why nuclear medicine, that is what it's called. All the radioactive materials radioactive radiation come from the nucleus. So she's a part of the nuclear medicine. She's a mother of a nuclear medicine, in my view. So she got the 10,000 hospitals doing the radium nuclear medicine now. More than 40 million procedures a day, every year they do that right now, thanks to Marie Curie. Then that. So she was always lonely. She's a very lonely woman, because all this is circles. See that in the Albert Einstein meeting, she's the only woman up there. I don't know how she survived with all of them, and she has to be so strong in that sense. She was a very very genius woman, always like that. Their kind of soul. She was a very by herself most of the time, and she was only going out for when the things needed. Even when she came to the United States, a lot of people wanted to meet her, and she was not that much crazy about meeting. Only reason she made this to raise funds for her mission. In fact, then so she died with a plastia anemia, which is a blood related radiation exposure, excessive radiation exposure, a plastia anemia, blood disorder. She came and she died in July 4th, 1934. She died. She was buried into the Pantheon, in the immortal Pantheon in Paris. That is, she was buried in a lead blanket because she was so radioactive. She has to be wrapped around the blood. Her body was wrapped around a lead blanket. She sacrificed, a true sacrifice she did for the people, for the people. That is a true sacrifice in my view. So she was buried in the immortal Pantheon in Paris. She was very well honored. That she is a she's a tribute came in. When she died, tributes came from all over the place. That is Smith College in Chicago, near Chicago, all the women's college, they sang a tribute to her songs. The first black woman, actually, she is one of them in the all women's college. They sang tribute. They were singing. They made a tribute for Marie Curie. In fact, she visited that Smith College. In fact, when she was alive. So they gave her a tribute, and then President Harding said that great attainment in the realms of science and intellect. That's what he said. That she is truly a soul genius. She's a soul of a genius. Tribute. She is one of the history of science. We cannot ignore history of science. If we ignore it, if we don't understand it, if we don't pay attention to it, we are really forgetting about ourselves, the future of the science itself. So I think she is one of the icons in the medical industry, healthcare. So Marie Curie is truly a soul of a genius, and the book is written on her is called "Soul of a Genius," and a truly remarkable woman. Amazon, actually, Radium. You can watch a movie on Amazon about her. It's truly inspiring. Thank you so much for attending, and that is I'm one of the services guy in the present day is my friend, good friend, Dr. Jopra is a cardiologist. Tomorrow I'm going to interview him. We're going to meet him. You're going to please come and join with me live tomorrow, same time. Thank you for watching. Let me bring Alan back to the you can buy my t-shirts about the Marie Curie on my website, dailywaitformedicine.com. You can buy a t-shirt from here from Amazon. I designed it. I'm not an artist, but designed for inspiring the science that I designed it. So let me bring um, Alan back. Let me just 1 second. So, oh, Alan, how are you? What do you think of it?
Amazing presentation. I'm so inspired by Marie Curie, and I think I need to hang a poster in my office of her because she did such amazing work, and especially during a time when, as a woman, she probably had it didn't have as much opportunity as we probably do today. Um, so I'm so happy you presented on that topic. It was awesome.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. So, you're doing, it's maybe smaller that in that scale, you're there in that scale. So tell us how difficult is raising funds and doing the app and all these things. There's a lot of these Silicon Valley is a lot of men here. How did you survive with all these things and did surviving in this industry?
Yeah. So far we like a little bit of a friends and family, and I've been bootstrapping. So we're gearing up to kind of do like a big launch. We did a soft launch, and we're probably about a month away from our major launch. And once we get some growth and some traction outside of our pilot, I guess, then we'll look to raise funds, probably in the next few months.
So yeah, are you thinking of going global also eventually? Because that is really required in the global side. I see much more. The United States definitely required, but in the global side, they pay for it because in other countries there's a precious moment, and everybody will pay for that. It's smaller. It may be a little bit less than here, but they pay because that sharing that ultrasound images concept is very new still, in my view, right?
Yeah, I've actually spoken to some people in the kind of underserved, underdeveloped areas. One of them is an entrepreneur of medical centers in India, and he said there's a huge issue with women attending their pregnancy appointments. So, using this as a tool to kind of entice them, something that they can take home with them, share with their family, kind of get excited about, just so they can stay healthy and attend their appointments. So, if there's a way to engage, and a tool to engage, we would definitely love to go global. Our mission is to um, not only create the new standard in how patients experience their ultrasound, but um, just create more engagement and a happier pregnancy.
Excellent idea, Alan. That is a really good. I see that I came from a small village in India. As enticing them to come to go to the doctor is a big challenge itself. I think
Mhm.
it's a great idea. They want to share that. They want to see the movement of that. That would be an excellent way of bringing women to the front doors of the doctors in the program itself. That's a very. I think you have a great opportunity in my view in other countries. That besides here there is a lot of opportunities, a global thing. If it is truly, I wish you nothing but best. You're wonderful, and I'm glad I met you in person. So I wish you all the best in your success of your company. Anything you need, please. Say hello to Dr. Uli Chettifalli, and he is a mentor. He's a good friend for both of us, and he's really founded an institute. Say hello to the Founders Institute. It's a free thing that you gave a very good review of that. So, any final word on your application, Alan?
No, I think just be on the lookout for us. We're about to do some big things, and about to really put our company out there, and are expecting some good growth. So, um, yeah, so I really appreciate you having me, and hearing the story, and seeing your presentation. And it's always so good to see you, Ramana. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Alan. Thank you all. Good night. And then thank you, Roger. And March 27th, Cancer Startup. Please connect with Roger Royce. Thank you all. Good night.
We are retelling their stories through our patented designs that can be worn on scrubs, t-shirts, printed on conference bags, and endless other promotional materials. Daily Wear for Medicine is the first ever of its kind to create curiosity in medicine through visual art. We at MedBricks are celebrating unsung heroes of the past who made enormous contributions to the field of medicine through our unique campaign called Daily Wear for Medicine. You can wear it, carry it, and give it.